With the beginning of the 2023 football season less than 6 weeks away, North Carolina is loaded with talent all over the offensive side of the football. But who are going to be the Hill's most impactful players? I'll throw my 2 cents in and give you my top 3 right now. So huddle up.
You don't want none! You don't want none!
Ready, break! What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? I'm your host, Russ, and like was aforementioned, we are going to be discussing my opinion on North Carolina's 2023 most impactful players on the offensive side of the football. I'll do a defensive one at a later time, okay? So let's define terms. What is an impact player? Well, it's someone who impacts the game more than other players impact the game. I don't know why this is like something that some people don't understand, but that's my definition of an impact player. So, some of these might be absolutely no-brainers. I'm sure that you will think so. And then also, there may be a diamond in there that you're like, I didn't expect him to say that. I don't know. Maybe they're all no-brainers. Maybe they're all stinking diamonds. Who knows? But just a disclaimer before I get started, this is obviously provided that these players stay healthy for the entire year. Obviously, I can't tell the future, and I don't know if somebody's going to get hurt, and then it's like, well, Russ, you said that so-and-so was going to be an impact player. Yeah, well, I didn't know that he was going to get hurt, buddy. So, what are we going to do, right? So, if they're healthy for the entire year, then guess what? I think that these individuals will be impact players. Now let's go ahead and get the GOAT out of the way. Yeah, that's right, baby. I'm talking about my man Drake May. The 2023 Heisman hopeful himself is coming back, and he is going to be the number one player, impact player for the North Carolina Tar Heels offense. We will go as he goes. Yes, I understand that the offensive line needs to get better. Yes, I understand that Chip Lindsey is trying to establish that power running game. But at the end of the day, Drake May is going to be the one who has to take us to the promised land, right? Now, he lost a ton on offense last year because my man Josh Downs and Antoine Green are both in the NFL. That's almost 2,000 receiving yards gone. That's like over 15 touchdowns gone that he's got to get replaced. And they think that they got the tools to stinking replace him. And I think that Drake is that good. Even though they got a brand new offensive coordinator, right? They're going to be just fine because Drake is the stinking man. And it's really going to be predicated on what kind of chemistry he can develop with Nate McCollum, Tez Walker, if he can get that old fling going with Kobe Paysor and the tight ends, Bryson Nesbitt, etc., etc. That's what's going to, make him have another really good year or have a sophomore slump. Now, I don't foresee that happening. I think the kid's too good, but that's why I got him as my number one impact player on the offensive side of the football. Any other quarterback, I might be worried. Not thinking Drake May. So Drake's ability to elude free rushers and keep his eyes down the field for a receiver to run himself open or a lane that he can pick up 10 to 15 yards, it's going to make up for any discrepancies that we have in the offensive line. He's a game changer, bro. And I expect him to be in New York at the end of the year. The kid's that stinking good. So, number one impact player, Drake May. Now, next on my list is going to be, and we can go a whole bunch of different places with this, and even within the running back room, but I'm going to put my man Omarion Hampton. The reason I'm going with Omarion Hampton is because as much as I like Caleb Hood has had some injury problems. And when Caleb Hood is healthy, I think that Caleb Hood might be the best overall back in that room. But he just can't stay healthy. So, I don't feel confident necessarily in the fact that he's going to be available for the entire season. It's the same thing with my man British Brooks. Where he lacks in top-end speed, British has the vision to see the hole, and he has a good first burst to get in there, right? But I just don't know how he's going to hold up coming off of that major knee injury, right? But Omarion Hampton is 6'1", 220 pounds of stinking muscle and man, right? So if he's learned anything from his freshman year, if he can run with his head up, if he can run with his pad level low, if he can find the hole as opposed to just running to where he initially was supposed to go, then I think Omarion Hampton can be possibly the next great North Carolina running back. And you know what? Chip Lindsey said that he wants to establish the power run game. And if you got a 220-pound back going downhill and he's running hard like Omarion Hampton, that's going to open up a lot of things for Drake May. And so you get these guys in the backfield getting it stinking done, man. And the Carolina offense could be real tough to stinking deal with. You know, and another thing that's going to help Omarion Hampton is Mac is already, with Coach Mac Brown's desire to work two backs in and out as opposed to the whole platoon thing that he was doing last year, and Chip Lindsey saying that he wants to develop that power running game. Omarion Hampton should get a lot more carries this year, and that should bode well for him to increase his stats. And he's going to be an impact guy because he's not really, he was pretty durable last year, even though at the tail end of the year he wasn't getting a lot of carries. The guy's a big guy, man, and he hasn't gotten hurt yet. And I think that Omarion Hampton could be that first or second back that really turns a corner this year. And he's my second impact player for the Carolina offense. Now my final offensive impact player may shock some of you. You can really go multiple ways with this. I think Bryson Nesbitt would be a great option here. You can go Kobe Paysour, Andre Green Jr., which I'm really excited to see how he's developed. J.J. Jones, another guy that can take the top off of a defense. Tez Walker, a lot of people are excited about him, myself included, and I think he's going to have a great season. But I think that somebody that's still flying under the radar just a little bit is my man Nate McCollum. And the reason I think that is because when you look at how Josh Downs was utilized by Drake May last year, and you think about how Nate McCollum can fit in there seamlessly, Nate McCollum had 60-something catches, 655 yards, and 3 touchdowns with a rushing touchdown, and he didn't have anybody to throw him the football. So now that Drake May is in, now that he's got Drake May throwing him the football, it's going to be real interesting to see how Nate McCollum works the underneath and how many catches that he has. I think that he's going to be really pivotal in Carolina's success, and he's going to be a little bit different than Josh Downs, but he's going to fulfill the same kind of role, if you will. And I actually think that Nate McCollum has a little bit more ability with run after the catch than Josh. That was kind of Josh's thing. Josh would catch the football, but he didn't get a lot of yak. I don't know what that was about, but that just kind of seemed to be his thing. So, we'll see what Nate McCollum can do. So, like I said, the 3 impact players, the Heisman hopeful Drake May. I think that's an understood stinking U. The second one, Omarion Hampton. How much has he developed from his freshman to sophomore year? He's a big body. He looks the part. He's going to get a lot more carries. I think he's going to have a huge impact on Carolina's offense as Chip Lindsey tries to establish that power running game. And then Nate McCollum, somebody that can come in and they can, to a certain extent, fill the void left by Josh Downs as a safety outlet, working the underneath, getting to the open spots of the field. It's going to be real exciting to see these 3 impact players. So, by all means, I want to hear what you guys think about this list. Do you think that there needs to be someone else that slides into one of those spots? Or did I get the top 3, hit them on the stinking nail? Comments down in the comment section so we can chop it up just a little bit. And make sure you smash that like button right before you subscribe. And you click that notification bell that reminds you every time that I make a video about our Tar Heels. So that's going to wrap up our 3 impact offensive players for the 2023 season. Go Heels. I'll catch you on the next one.